Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you set 5 of STX Soul versus We Made Fox. This is going to be played on Icarus. Baby knocking off Frozian, who is on a 2-kill streak, is going to be here, and he is going to be playing against Gujila for STX Soul, aka the Great Kal. So this should be a whole lot of fun. Kal, obviously, just a great player overall. Just one of those A-class players. Has not won a Star League, technically, yes, we know. But he is a very, very good player. Has been a stalwart in Pro League for, seems years now. Seems like at least 2 years, 2-3 years. He's been the ace for STX for a while as well. Calm came in there, and when Calm was playing hot, it was kind of a dual, two-headed ace. But I think Calm's definitely cooled down quite a bit, and Kal is, you know, reestablished his position as certainly the #1 player on STX Soul, even if he's not always treated as a true ace in the same fashion, say a Flash or a J-Dong, where you're always waited till the end and you're always bringing up the end of a series. But you know, that almost says more about KT and Wasang Oz than it does about Kal, just because those teams just aren't as deep as STX Soul. STX Soul, even now, I mean, they are still one of the deepest, if not the deepest teams in the league, and they've been that way for so long, it seems. They do so well in Standard Pro League. They do pretty well in Winners League, but not as well as they do in Standard Pro League, just because they don't have as much of that A+ S-class star player that can all kill as consistently as some teams do. They always tend to struggle in the playoffs, once again, because they don't have that S-class player that can get that clutch win and win that ace match for them that they need. They are a deep team, they are a good team, and going to try and hopefully Kal can get a victory here against Baby and send this into a set 6 advantage for STX Soul. These two players actually do have a little bit of a history, not a whole lot. They've played each other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, with Kal winning 3 of them and Baby winning 2 of them, although one of them came in a win during a best of 3. So I basically don't even count that because it's a win that doesn't mean anything. So I would actually say that Kal is up 3-1 overall in this between these two. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with that 3-1 for Kal. So Baby's gonna try and get this series a little bit closer. And Kal is in white, obviously, the Protoss player. If you don't know, you should. I don't think that they need any introductions which one's Protoss and which one's Terran, but we do have the gas already for him, and he's gonna do a little bit of pressure here on the 1-Rax CC build from Baby. Is going to get scattered out by this probe, and I think we have an early Zealot produced, maybe a first Zealot. Kal tends to do this. Kal is actually one of the more aggressive players. It seems like a lot of the top players have an aggressive streak to them. Kal is pretty aggressive. Stork tends to be pretty aggressive. J-Dong is a very aggressive player. A lot of the top players do have an aggressive streak in them, and Kal is definitely no exception. He's coming in here with that probe, and the Zealot is going to be following up to try and do some harassment, pick off a couple Marines, maybe try and stop this this command center from going up as well, hold it back, pick off an SCV or 2 if it can, and it looks like he's going to get 1 SCV, not quite able to get the SCV, and forced to retreat here. I think he maybe even produced a 2nd Zealot, or maybe that's a Dragoon already. I don't think a Dragoon could have been produced that quickly, but maybe. We'll have to see whenever the announcers decide to show us that spot. And a bunker going up at the front for Baby as well. And the SCV does go down. That SCV does go down. And a Dragoon coming in for Kal. So it looks like he's going to try and do a whole lot of early pressure here. See how much damage he can do to try and pick off some of these Marines. And he's going to have a good shot at picking off some of these Marines. He's going to pick off a 2nd Marine. And no, the SCV building the bunker. Oh, there it goes. Finally goes down. But the Zealot and the Probe are both dead. Another Marine is going to go down before the bunker can come up. So Kal doing a little bit of damage here, but not enough, considering he doesn't have a 2nd base. So he's gonna stream some Dragoons in, it seems, as well as probably get his natural up while he streams some Dragoons in here, gets that range, and puts on some pressure on this bunker. And if he can do something really awesome, like maybe pick off the first tank or something, do some sloppy play by Baby, that would be a really nice addition to this early aggression build from Kal most certainly. We'll see if when he throws down a second gateway, or if he decides to throw down a Robo and maybe go for a either. If he goes Robo and goes Observatory, we'll probably see him take a quick third to try and even up the economics. If we see him put down a go for Reavers, he'll probably be going for more of a kill base, try and kill off as many tanks as he can, and do some damage, and then go from there, depending upon how much damage and what kind of damage he's able to do. But yeah, we do see that natural nexus coming up, and a couple more Dragoons are streaming in. There's the robotics facility, so is it going to be Observers or Reavers? That is the question right now. Kal has very, very good Reaver play. In fact, his Reaver play is so good that versus Zerg, they actually call it the Kal build. I recently found out, at least that's what one of the articles said that I was reading, that there's a Kal build that they call for going Reaver first versus Zerg, and then going Reaver first, and then going into heavy Dragoon play as well with it. So that's the Kal. He's done it so much, and if you follow Kal in STX Seoul, you probably have seen him do this many times. He's got 4 Dragoons right now peppering at that bunker. First tank is out, obviously doesn't have siege yet, but he will try and use it to stop the Dragoons. He's just got to be very, very careful with it. Doesn't want to see it get picked off or anything. And here it comes, coming forward, and Kal going in here for the kill. Gonna get it. Is he gonna get it? He does get it. Kal gets the kill on the first tank. So that is so crucial. When you go for this 1-Rax Expo, you've already your tank is already going to be late because you get the late gas, late factory, late machine shop, late everything. And then you lose the tank on top of that. He is now behind so far. By the time he has a tank with siege up, there's going to be like 7 goons, maybe 6 goons out on the field. There's going to be a second base up, certainly already. And here comes the second tank. It looks like Kal's actually is preparing to take a base at the bottom right. I actually don't like that spot if he's actually going to throw up a base there. Does have siege mode finished, so the Dragoons are going to have to stop peppering. But yeah, still losing that first tank is definitely big. Gonna slow down when he can push out again. And still working off of just that one factory. And Kal, is he really gonna take this base at the bottom right, or is that pylon just gonna be used for scouting purposes? He went Observer, he's got Observatory, and he's going Reaver as well, doing both. And I really hope he doesn't take that bottom right. It's just not as defendable a spot, in my opinion. Well, actually, it's not even an opinion, just plain isn't. It's factual. I mean, it's basically a base that's on the way for Terran. If Baby makes a really strong push and is, you know, even mildly successful in his force and gets Kal pushed back even close to his natural, it's gonna be hard for Kal to keep forces at that bottom right to defend. It's also more vulnerable to drops. So a base being put up at the top right would be farther for Baby to hit, harder for him to drop, just once again because of the distance. So it has a lot more advantages for him. We'll have to see what Stork decides to do with his Reaver, though. He could be thinking that, hey, I've got a shuttle, so if I can maintain the air and stop drops, then all I have to do is keep some sort of semblance of ground control, and this third base isn't so hard to defend. But overall, I don't like the choice. I would prefer him to take the top right. But, you know, to each his own. We do have an armory already up for Baby, producing +1 weaponry, and haven't seen any turrets up yet. We do have a starport coming up, probably going to be more to get science vessels to counter arbiters, and get science facility to get the second upgrade, the +2 weapons, which is very, very important and very, very popular. And here comes the shuttle, and there goes the Reaver, not able to stop the starport from coming up, but is going to get a couple kills here, it looks like. And now Stork coming in here from the front with the Dragoons, going to try and do some damage, going to try and pick off this bunker, and not able to do so, and actually losing a bunch of Dragoons due to the tanks. I think he expected Baby to be far more reactionary towards the Reaver, and Baby was not. Baby did not dedicate many forces to deal with that Reaver, so Kal's little ploy there was not very effective. Baby scanning inside of his own base to see this Observer is going to try and pick it off, and not quite able to do so. He could use a second scan on it, but that is 2 scans to kill 1 Observer is a quite a hefty investment of your scans when you want to be using your scans to be scouting out your opponent, and also to save them for possible DTs and arbiters and things like that, and find out where the army is, those kinds of things that you want so desperately. Kal does have a second Reaver out now. I'm picking that up with the shuttle, so he's going to be able to do 2 Reaver drops. And the thing about 2 Reaver drops is that against, if there aren't tanks around, Goliaths and Vultures really don't do anything. And even if there are tanks around, you can drop both Reavers, launch both Scarabs, kill off and pick up both of them again and kill the tanks. So with good micro, you can really do a lot of damage with 2 Reavers. Do have a lot of pylons being thrown up at the bottom right, a lot for scouting purposes. Probably we'll see some cannons thrown up in a couple different spots just to shoo away dropships and the like. We do have a cannon throwing up in the main, probably have one